Baruch. Good morning, Botai, Shavua Tov. There is a very, very famous machloket rishonim about when writing teffilin, the placement of the parashiot in the teffilin. We know that there are 4 parashiot in the teffilin. Tefillin shel rosh, there are 4 compartments. In tefillin shel yad, there's also 4 parashiot, but they're just written on one roll. There's a machloket how to place them in the tefillin. According to Rashi and the Rambam and many other rishonim, it's placed in the order that they're written in the Torah, which is Kadeshli. You start from the left of the Maniach, which is the leftmost compartment, Kadeshli, Ve'aya Kiviacha, which are both in Parashat Bo, then Shema, which is in Parashat Beit Hanan, then Ve'aya Im Shamoa, which is in Parashat Aikid. That's the opinion of Rashi and the Rambam. Very famously, Rabbeinu Tam in Masechet Menachot disagrees. Rabbeinu Tam says, Havayot biyachad, which means Vehayaz have to go together. Which means, according to Rabbeinu Tam, the placement is as follows. It goes, Kadeshli, V'haya Kiviacha, V'haya Im Shamoa, and lastly, Shema Yisrael. Out of the order that it's written in the Torah. Now, even according to Rabbeinu Tam, make no mistake, it's got to be written in the order, the parashiot, both Shel Yad and Shel Rosh, have to be written in the order that it's written in the Torah. But in terms of placement, it's placed with the Havayot back to back. Maran HaShulchan Aruch, in Siman Lamed Dalet, brings down both opinions, and he says that the halacha and the minhag follows that of Rashi and the Rambam. That's the halacha. That's why we only make a bracha on, we call it tefillin shel Rashi, which it's not only Rashi. There's many other rishonim that hold it. But the Shulchan Aruch does say that Yiras Shamayim yaniach shenehem. We'll speak about Be'ezrat Hashem later on in the week, the proper way to place both of them. But the Shulchan Aruch says that Yiras Shamayim should put on both of them to be yotzeh both shitot. Now, interestingly enough, the Shulchan Aruch also says, Lo ya'asechem ela mi shehu mefursam b'chasidut, which means only a person who is known to be a big tzaddik v'chasid should put on tefillin shel Rabbeinu Tam. Otherwise, it looks like a little bit of gava. Otherwise, he's not worthy for it. That's the opinion of Shulchan Aruch. Maran Achida, in the Sefer Birkei Yosef, on this halacha of Shulchan Aruch, and many other great poskim and mekubalim disagree with the Shulchan Aruch, and they say no, that's not the halacha. The halacha is that nowadays, even for people, regular people who are shomer Torah mitzvot, even if they're not known to be mefursam b'chasidut, they should also make sure to put on tefillin shel Rabbeinu Tam because of the importance over there. According to Rabbeinu Tam, if you put on tefillin shel Rashi, you're not yotzeh. It's so important, even if a person's not muchzak b'chasidut, and that seems to be the minhag of kimat all the Sfaradim, Mekubalim, Hasidim, besides for Ashkenazim Litaim, they don't put on because they follow Kedat Agra, who's not makpid to do Kedat Rabbeinu Tam. But all the Sfaradim and all the Hasidim, they're all makpid Kedat Rabbeinu Tam. Not only that, there's many poskim who say, let's say, again, today it's not so common, Baruch Hashem, but let's say a person's very poor, he doesn't have money. Now he can only afford one thing. Either, let's say he has a very limited amount of money, he can only, obviously tefillin shel Rashi has to buy, that's ikar hadin. But now he can only afford one thing. He can either buy a talit, or he can buy tefillin shel Rabbeinu Tam. Not both. One or the other. Now obviously, tefillin is more expensive than talit. But let's say the question is, he has money right now for a talit. If he spends it, that's it. Or he can say, you know what, I won't spend the money now for a talit, I'll save up more to buy tefillin shel Rabbeinu Tam. Many poskim, Agoni Yalkut Yosef brings down Siman Lamed Dalet, rule that a person should not buy the talit, a person should walk around without a talit and save up to buy davka tefillin shel Rabbeinu Tam. Why? Because over there tefillin is mitzvah kiyumit. You don't have to wear tzitzit, you don't have to wear talit. If you have a 4-cornered beged, then you put tzitzit on it. But tefillin is mitzvah chiyuvit. You have to go out and buy tefillin. Rabbeinu Tam is not alone in the shita. There's tens of Rishonim that hold like Rabbeinu Tam in the placement of the tefillin, and therefore that's just to show the importance, according to many poskim, spend the money davka al tefillin shel Rabbeinu Tam and not on talit. Be'ezrat Hashem in the coming days. By the way, Maran Zichron Livracha was a very big proponent of tefillin shel Rabbeinu Tam. His entire life, he used to push people, even simple people, even regular people, to buy tefillin shel Rabbeinu Tam to put it on. Now he says, he used to say, B'derech tzchok, in Olam Haba, there's going to be a lot of yeshivot. Who's going to be the Rosh Yeshiva? You're going to have Moshe Rabbeinu, you're going to have Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, you have Rashi, Rabbeinu Tam. A person, what's Olam Haba going to be? You're going to run around from one yeshiva to another to hear shiurim from all the Gedolei Olam. He says, in Olam Haba, a person's going to try to gain access to Yeshivat Rabbeinu Tam. Rabbeinu Tam has yeshiva. You try to go over there to listen to the shiur. There's going to be a guard over there. He says, a person who didn't wear tefillin shel Rabbeinu Tam, the guard at the yeshiva of Rabbeinu Tam is going to tell him, you can't come in here. He says, why? He says, you never wore tefillin. He says, what do you mean? I wore tefillin my whole life. He says, no, you never wore tefillin. He says, what do you mean? So he says, according to me, Shitat Rashi and tefillin is wrong. So he never wore tefillin. So for that reason, he said it b'derech melitza. He said it as a joke, but he says you have to be very careful. That's not the reason why you should put it on, but it's a very, very important component in mitzvah tefillin. Bezat Hashem will continue in the following days. Yom Tov.